Hey there, Kipsters. We're looking at questions 21 through 25. Question 21, what is the slope of this line? To find the slope, I know that I'm going to need to find 2 points in the line, and then I'm going to need to find the rise and the run between those 2 points. It already identified the points for me. I could use this point -2 and go up to 2, 1. So starting here, I'll count my rise 1, 2, 3. My rise is 3, and then my run 1, 2, 3, 4. My run is 4. And so if the rise is 3 and the run is 4, I can't simplify that fraction, so my slope is 3/4, which is answer choice B. Moving on, number 2, 22. What value of x makes the equation below true? I could solve this, or I could also just check by substitution. I'll solve it first. I have x divided by 9 plus 6 equals 8. The first thing I'll do is cancel the constant of 6 by adding the opposite, -6. 6 plus -6 cancels and equals 0. So I really have x divided by 9 is equal to 8 plus -6, which is 2. And then I have x divided by 9 equals to 2. I need to cancel the coefficient of 9, and since it's divided by 9, I'll use the inverse operation of multiplying by 9. Multiplying by 9. My coefficients cancel, and x is equal to 18. And my answer is 18. Another way I could have done this is just by checking through substitution. X divided by 9 plus 6 equals 8. Whatever I put in for x should equal 8. And so another way that I could have done this is just actually check my answer by substituting. If I do that, 18 divided by 9 is 2, and 2 plus 6 does equal 8. And so if I just wanted to check my answer using substitution, I wouldn't have even needed to solve it. I could have just completed it that way too. But in either case, you see that the answer is B. Moving on, number 23, what value of x satisfies the equation? Again, I could solve it, or I could check through substitution. How about this time I'll actually check through substitution first, and then I'll make sure I show how to solve it. So some of these had decimals 5.0, 6.0, but I'm not going to let that scare me. I know that's really just the same thing as 5. C is really the same thing as 6. And this is 3.5 and 7.5. So 4 times something plus 2 is 22. What should that something be? I can see that it's 5. 4 times 5 plus 2 should equal 22. 4 times 5 is 20. And 20 plus 2 equals 22. I know the answer to the equation. The solution is 5. I, of course, can solve this equation the way I know how to solve an equation, 4x plus 2 equals 22, by first canceling the constant, adding -2 to both sides. 2 plus -2 cancel. I have 4x is equal to 20. And then I cancel the coefficient by dividing by 4. Coefficients cancel. And 20 divided by 4 equals 5. And x equals 5. So either way you do it, either through substitution or by actually solving the equation, you should see that x equals 5. Moving on. Number 24. What is the slope of the line? I can see that this one might be a little trickier because you don't see where your usable points are. You need to identify them. I see very clearly 2 usable points because they hit the axis. On the y-axis, I see that this hits at 0, 5. That's 1 usable point. And on the x-axis, I see that this is at -7, 0. So those are my 2 usable points. From here, I'm going to find the slope, trying to find the rise and the run. But before I do that, I'm actually going to do some process of elimination. If I'm looking at my 4 answer choices, I can see that this going from left to right, if I take my left hand, is going up. And so I know that my slope is going to be a positive slope. So I already know that I can cross out A and cross out B, both of which are negative. So the question is, should this be 5/7 or 5? So here I'll find the rise, starting here, going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The rise is 5. And then the run, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The run of 7. My slope is 5/7, which is answer choice C. Moving on, 25. A duck flew at 18 miles per hour for 3 hours, then at 15 miles per hour for 2 hours. How far did the duck fly in all? So I see 2 rates here. 18 miles per hour for 3 hours, there's my first rate. 15 miles per hour for 2 hours, that's my second rate. So I have actually 2 different proportions here. Rate 1, 18 miles per 1 hour for 3 hours. Rate 2, 15 miles per hour for 2 hours. To make a connection here, this is a type 4 problem with proportions, because I need to write 2 different proportions to solve this problem. I need to figure out what x is, how many miles will it fly in 3 hours. I need to figure out y, how many miles will it fly in 2. If I were to cross multiply and divide, 1 times x is just x. 18 times 3 is 54. And so x equals 54. Next, cross multiply and divide here. 1 times y is just y. 15 times 2 is equal to 30. And so y equals 30 miles. So after 3 hours at 18 miles an hour, he's going to go 54. After 2 hours at 15 miles an hour, he's going to go 30. If I add those 2 together, in total, he's going to go 84 miles. And that's the right answer.